sermon today comes from Daniel chapter 6, verses 1 through 10. Daniel chapter 6, 1 through 10. Before I read this, I wanted to say Daniel was a man who loved God with all of his heart. He was faithful to God. He always did what was right. He always did what pleased God. And the people around him hated him because of it. He lived in the country of Babylon. He went there as a prisoner, and God raised him up to be one of the highest officials, one of the highest rulers in the country. And God was with him. But people hated him. They were envious. They were jealous. They saw him rise in importance, and they hated him. But God was with him. This is God's word. It pleased Darius to appoint 120 satraps or governors to rule throughout the kingdom, with 3 administrators over them, one of whom was Daniel. The satraps were made accountable to them so that the king might not suffer loss. Now Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators and the satraps by his great qualities that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. At this, the administrators and the satraps tried to find reasons for charges against Daniel in his conduct of the government affairs, but they were unable to do so. They could find no corruption, no evil in him, because he was trustworthy and neither corrupt nor negligent. Finally, these men said, "We will never find any basis for charges against this man Daniel unless it has something to do with the law of his God." So the administrators and the satraps went as a group to the king and said, "O king, live forever." The royal administrators, prefects, satraps, and advisors and governors had all agreed that the king should sign an order and enforce the order that anyone who prays to any god or any man for the next 30 days, except to you, O king, shall be put to death and thrown into a lion's den. Now, O king, issue a decree and put it in writing so that it cannot be altered, in accordance with the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be repealed. So King Darius put the decree in writing. Now when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows were open towards Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. This is God's word.